Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. On this channel, I like to do a little bit of everything. Today we're going to be making risers and trays for my pictures. Now let's get crafty. Okay, for this first little stand, I have this box picture thing from the Dollar Tree. And then I have 4 little dowel rods. And then I have Titebond glue. And I have this paper sticker, wall sticker from the Dollar Tree. So I noticed that this has these little edges, whatever, where my paper is not going to go very well. So I'm going to get out my Westcott cutting mat. I got this at Walmart and I absolutely love it. It's a good size. It's bigger than the Dollar Tree one and it stores nicely. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take my, this is my Westcott knife, and just an X-Acto blade, and I'm trying to cut it off. Well, that didn't work, so this is either, this is a very stupid idea, okay? I'm just going to say it. Don't do it. Try to cut it off without having to go at you like this, because, you know, God forbid I lost a finger or cut myself on here. But anyway, I, got it shaved down. I might could have used a sander. I'm not sure, but you know, that's just my method of getting it down. So I am simply going to now use a sander. Sorry, I didn't know that I did that. Some of the paper started peeling, so some peeled and some didn't. But anyway, we're going to cover it so it don't matter. So I'm just going to lay this on the back of this sticky stuff. It's like contact paper, and I'm just going to draw it out, and then I'm going to cut it out. Easy, simple process. Okay, the square is cut, and I'm just going to lay this on its side, and I'm going to cut out all 4 sides, just like I did the top. Now, all you have to do is peel your backing off your contact type paper, and just stick it down. It's easy as that, and if you have any pieces that are overhang, just trim them off with scissors or your X-Acto knife or whatever. Make sure if you're using a knife and you have one of these silicone mats that you don't cut through it, because it's easy to do. Now it's time to work on the legs, and all I done was measure a piece of contact paper the length of my legs, and I'm gonna just cut that off, and then I'll cut individual pieces, and I'm gonna glue my legs in, making sure that I put glue on the bottom of the dowel and both sides where it's gonna touch inside the box. And here I'm just marking where I'm going to stop with that peel and stick stuff, so that way I can just glue the wood. Now I will tell you, all I'm going to do is roll little pieces up on these dowel rods like so. But I have been using this for a little while, and the end right there that I just sealed is coming open because this stuff is thick and it's straining being in that circle. So you'll want to add a little line of hot glue. I find works best to seal that off. And if you have any extra, you can just rub it or kind of scrape it off with whatever. But that's how I did them. And then after I done that, see the wood exposed? That's where I'm going to add my Titebond glue. You can use hot glue, but I wanted a permanent hold. So I'm using Titebond on the bottom as well as hot glue on the sides so that it will stick and, you know, not fall over while it's drying. So that's what I done to attach my legs. Once you get this done, your little tray is ready. Here it is, all done, and it's sturdy, and I made this to use for my photos in my videos. On this one, I'm just going to use 2 wood rounds from Walmart, and I think they're like $1, maybe a little less. And I'm going to use my staple remover and carefully remove the staples, and then take those labels off. Now I am simply going to take a baby wipe and some wax. You can use Waverly wax. This is basically the same thing. I just bought it at Hobby Lobby. Look at that beautiful color. Look at that wood grain coming through. It is so stinking beautiful. So I'm going to do this to both pieces, and then I am going to stain my 4 little feet over there, and also stain my beads. And the weird way that I stain my beads, because I couldn't find my stain caddy thing, is I just took the wipe and started rolling around in here and coating my beads, but it all worked, and it worked out great. Make sure when you're staining that you stain the sides, and you might want to sand them before you stain because they're kind of rough, but there they are. Look how beautiful. Everything is dry. I used my heat gun to dry these, because when you use a paper towel, baby wipe, they are kind of wet. So I'm just going to take this glue, which I switched to wood glue. Okay, it's Surebonder wood glue. But when you glue them, I'm gluing the circles to the side, and make sure you turn them a little bit when you're gluing so that they'll go round and not sit all weird. So I'm almost done, and by this time I got the hang of it. But I'm just gluing on the board and then sticking it down, turning it slightly. But I wanted to show you this because, you know, it happens. These are the Dollar Tree beads, by the way, that I got way back when. I don't know. I think Christmas time maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, this happens no matter what beads you use at times. So it didn't fit. So I'm just going to use my sander, and I'm going to sand it until it fits down in there. Perfect. You can't even tell once you get it in there. So that's a plus. Now I am just going to put hot glue on the beads, which you could put it on the beads or the board, and then I use Titebond. Just use hot glue and not the Titebond, because, you know, it'll work. I don't know what I was thinking, but the Titebond seeped down in between the beads. So you just put hot glue on it and you're good to go. Now, I have a problem with getting stuff straight a lot of times, so I'm just going to draw this out on a simple piece of paper, just printer paper, okay? Then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to fold it as even as I can into 4 pieces. You know, fold it in half and then fold it in half again. At that point, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out little notches in the creases. And I'm going to use those little notches to mark on my wood exactly where my feet go, so that I know that nothing is crooked. Then I'm simply going to put the wood hot glue on the little pegs, which later I switched and I just put a little blob on the board. It worked better that way. But I'm just going to place them where I put my dots, and perfect. I'll accept the glue, which will dry clear, thank the Lord. Now this one you are not going to believe. I used this little plate and bowl from Walmart in the kids section, and I'm going to transform this into something that will not look like this when I'm done. So I am just going to take this glue, and I will tell you, either use E6000 or just flat out hot glue. This did not hold this at all. It came right off, and I left it overnight. So yeah, I was gonna spray paint it, but I can't go outside because of my allergies right now very well. So I ended up using this, and I put 2 or 3 coats on, and then I am just going to distress it with this other gray chalk paint. Now when I distress a circle, I use the side of my brush and I spin it to make sure I go in that way. If you get too much, just rub it in, or use a baby wipe and wipe it off. Now on the sides, I'm just going to scrape it across really, really fast, really, really light, to get this color on here. And I'll show you what it looks like. This is my end result. I left the bottom because you're not going to see that, but look how beautiful that is. While I had that gray out, I wanted to go ahead and distress this just a little, and I used that side whatever you call it. You hear my grandbaby? She's supposed to be taking a nap. But anyways, I'm just stroking across these beads to make them pop. And then I'm going to distress the feet and the rest of this piece. And like I said earlier, if you get too much or you get too heavy-handed, wipe it off, go again. The outcome is absolutely beautiful, and it looks so high-end. After I'm finished distressing, I'm going to take this fine sandpaper and I'm just going to go over it a little bit, and I'm going to blend that top paint in to make it look more like wood and that it's all blending together. And then I'm going to distress my edges. Look how beautiful it's coming. Oh my gosh, watch this. So I found a pack of vintage scrapbook paper on clearance and fell in love. I've got a tray from the Dollar Tree. Wait till you see this. Okay, so I got this L square or angle square, whatever you want to call it, from Dollar Tree. And of course the box is from Dollar Tree. So with that being said, you know, if you DIY with Dollar Tree stuff, you know. So I don't remember measurements or remember whatever. So I'm just going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to mark where I need to go on this thing. And like I said, something is not right. You'll see in a little bit, you know, that I struggle. But anyway, I wanted this piece, and then I thought, no, yeah, I know. I love the sewing machine, y'all. So I am going to cut this along these lines, trying to be straight. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to cut out this sewing machine to fit this box bottom, okay, or tray bottom. I'm making things for my thumbnails so that they are cuter and not just objects stuck, you know, in a picture. But anyway, I'm just outlining and then I'm going to cut it out. So I was going to use scissors, but I don't cut very straight. So that's when I realized I had a problem. My lines were not measuring up to the straightness of my paper cutter. So I just used the straightness of my paper cutter and not my lines to cut out the shape that I need. And then it's still not right. I'm going to have to cut a piece that you'll see in a little bit and glue that in first because it didn't line up right. So I'm going to use my glue stick and I am going to, on this, I tried to get it up there, but it's so fat it won't go in the corners. So I use my finger and just smear the glue around in there. And then I'm going to place my piece. This is the piece that I had to cut to fill in so you didn't see the wood. And I just snipped a piece off the top, you know, to kind of match the top that I had going on. And then I'm just going to add glue and then smear it with my finger. Now, an alternative is to take regular glue, Mod Podge, whatever, and use a paintbrush and put it down in this bottom. But I didn't want any wrinkles in this, okay? So that's why I'm using stick glue. I did switch to get the corners with my, this is extra strong Elmer's glue, just craft glue, but it's extra strong. So I'm going to use that around the sides, and I'm going to take a paintbrush and smear it in and then lay my paper down. Now I'm going to take this pink squeegee tool and I am going to smooth all this out and press any excess glue out to the sides and make sure that I got it in the corners real good and all that stuff. Now I have that in there, and I'm going to take this coordinating paper that I love so much and I'm just going to cut strips. This is a little easier except for the inside, but I measure it out. And I'm just going to cut strips to put on the inside and outside of my box. And I'm just going to attach them with the stick glue. This makeup roller thingy is very handy. I got it from the Dollar Tree. I have two of them. I have one over at this craft desk and I have one at my sewing desk to press and crease fabric. So yeah, they are handy. You might want to pick you one up. But anyways, I'm also, like I said, just going to measure this and put it on the inside as well as the outside, but not on the handles. Now after they're on and my glue dries thoroughly, I'm going to take my sandpaper and sand off all the edges. Now I want to paint my handles. So I want to try to get a color of that pink in the middle, and to do that is to mix these two pinks that I had and then add some brown to it, and then that is a dull vintage pink and I love it. And I'm just going to paint my two handles, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do from there, but I have a very thin flat brush that I'm going around this with, trying my best not to get it on the paper, which at this point I didn't. So I did really well. I was impressed with myself. So then I took a small brush and did the outside, and then took sandpaper and fingernail file and distressed it, and I am in love with this. This is my favorite. Look at that. It's beautiful. I seriously think that I don't want to use this as a tray now because it is so pretty. I didn't worry about the back because nobody's going to see that, but I'm pretty sure now that I'm going to hang it on the wall like this and make it wall decor. So I'm going to add a string, and because you can't screw anything into this, so a string works best. And I'm going to make another one, and this is going to be my wall decor. I am done, and I cannot believe how some of these turned out. One, I can't believe that was ever a child's bowl and plate from Walmart. I mean, it came out absolutely beautiful. And this one came out good for being a few dollars. I mean, it'll work. And then I have this, which I fixed, and that's just a few dollars. I made another tray. I couldn't help it, so I'm going to have a grouping of two on my wall. But this is my absolute favorite, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. Cute wall decor for just a few bucks. Let me know what you think in the comments. I am amazed. Hit that like button so YouTube will notice me a little bit more and get my videos out there. I'm almost to 5,000, guys. Remember, you are a blessing. Until next time, goodbye.